Maharaj ji, one Haripriya Das from ISKCON Malaysia is asking, what is the true sadhana of a Gaudiya Vaishnava sadhak? Kindly please elaborate on this.
So we are Gaudiya Vaisnavas, right? We are. The question is, what is a Gaudiya Vaishnava? Who is a Gaudiya Vaishnava? Gaudiya Vaishnava means who are followers of Lord Gauranga. One who follows Lord Gauranga, those who have got desire to serve Lord Gauranga internally, they are called Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Can this have any other meaning? Gaudiya Vaishnava means plain and simple lovers of Lord Gauranga, servants of Lord Gauranga, those who wish to serve Lord Gauranga eternally. They are called Gaudiya Vaishnavas. No one can construe the meaning of a Gaudiya Vaishnava. This is for sure. No one construe. No one can change the meaning of what is a Gaudiya Vaishnava. So, now the question is, if we are Gaudiya Vaishnavas, our only duty is to please Lord Gauranga. True? Yeah. So Lord Gauranga himself has said, what is the sādhanā for a Gaudiya Vaishnava? What more simpler way to tell what is the sadhana of a Gaudiya Vaishnava than to just tell the Vani of Lord Gauranga? Mahaprabhu himself is saying that Bahya antar ihar duita sadhan, Bahya sadak dehe kare shravan kirtan, man nij siddha deha kariya bhavan, ratri dina chinte braje Kṛṣṇaira sevan. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, this divine Vani of Lord Gauranga has been given. So very clearly Mahaprabhu is telling sadhana of a Gaudiya Vaishnava is dual. It is twofold. One is Bahya, that is external, and one is Antar, that is internal. Bahya Sadak Deha, with this body which you have, you should do Shravan and Kirtan, hearing and chanting about your Ishtadev. Nothing else. Leelaras Sadagan. Hearing and chanting about your Ishtadev should be the external activity performed by the body which you have. And what is the dual sadhana? The second part, it is internal sadhana. Mahaprabhu is telling all Gaudiya Vaishnavas must do twofold sadhana. One is external and one is internal. Internal means in your internally conceived body as a dasi of Radha Krsna, you should serve Radha Krsna eternally, the way Goswamis have prescribed in their Granthas. So this is the second twofold sadhana. One is external and one is internal. Is there any doubt about this? You are a Gaudiya Vaishnava. Mahaprabhu himself is telling what you should be doing. But our concepts come into play in this as well. What a pity. Just imagine Mahaprabhu, the Lord is different from his Vani. Bhagavad Gita is different from Lord Krishna. Śrīmad Bhagavatam is different from Lord Krishna. Vani is different from Vapu. Is there any doubt about it? So Mahaprabhu himself is saying there shouldn't be any doubt. But still, because we are not that much fixed in bhakti, let's imagine that Mahaprabhu himself comes in front of you and tells you, see, you should do twofold sadhana. You are a Gaudiya Vaishnava? Yes. It means you are my follower? Yes. I am standing in front of you? Yes. Now I am telling you, do twofold sadhana. What is the twofold sadhana? Internal as well as external. External, do Shravan and Kirtan, hearing, chanting about Radha Krsna. And internally, by your Guru given svarūpa, Manjari Deha, you should do Seva of Radha Krsna as described by the Ṣaḍ Gosvāmīs. Just imagine Mahaprabhu is telling you face to face. What are you going to do? Are you going to do what Mahaprabhu is telling, or are you going to say something else? No, but my institution says you are not qualified to do internal sadhana. Mahaprabhu says, look, I am the Lord of the universe. I am standing right in front of you and telling you, do twofold. I am giving instruction here. And Guru is supposed to repeat the Vani of the Lord only, no? I am the Lord. I am telling that do twofold sadhana, dual sadhana. All Gaudiya Vaishnavas in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya must do this dual sadhana. Bahya, and again repeating in a very slowly, Bahya, Antar, Iha, Duita Sadhan. These are two sadhanas, Bahya and Antara. Mahaprabhu himself is saying that do twofold sadhana, and then if you say that we are not qualified, is Mahaprabhu, are we more intelligent than Mahaprabhu? Or our institutions, authorities are more intelligent than the Lord himself? How can we be a Gaudiya Vaishnava then if we are rejecting Mahaprabhu and accepting an institution authority? Plus, Mahaprabhu will say, you know my Parshad, eternal associate, Prabodhanand Saraswati? Yes, I know. He has written in Chaitanya Chandramrit, Patra Apatra Vichara na kurute. I never consider who is qualified, who is not qualified. I am the Lord of the universe. Na? I am telling you, I don't consider that anyone is qualified or not. This thought even doesn't arise in my mind that anyone is qualified or not. I'm just giving it freely. I come very rarely. Once in 1000 yugas I come, and when I come, I just distribute freely, the highest to the lowest. That is why Mahaprabhu has been described as Karunya Sima, the ultimate limit of mercy. He gives the highest to the lowest. There is no question of qualification. This is the meaning of Mahaprabhu's descent is only to give the highest, that to the lowest. If we know who is Mahaprabhu, then we will not even ask this question and we will not say, oh, I am not qualified. Mahaprabhu will say, look, Bacha, Krishnadas, listen, I am the Lord of the universe. Yes. And you are a Gaudiya Vaishnava. Yes. It means you are my follower. You want my servitude. If you are not even following my basic Vani, how will you get my eternal servitude? My Dasya in Nitya Navdvip. Look, one of the Gosvamis, Gopal Bhatt Gosvamis, gave Siddha Praṇālī to Srinivas Acharya. It is mentioned in Prem Vilas Grantha. Similarly, you should accept a bona fide Guru from a proper bona fide Parivar and accept Siddha Praṇālī and do internal sadhana as well. Gaudiya Vaishnavas means who does dual sadhana. I am the Lord of the universe. Only my Vani should be followed in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. And who doesn't follow my Vani, he is simply not Guru. He is not a bona fide Guru. Mahaprabhu will say, let me say your altar. Oh, you have put Gauraksha Das Babaji in the altar, you have put Jagannath Das Baba in the altar, you have put Bhaktivinoda Thakur. All of them, they do dual sadhana. They do Shravan Kirtan and they do internal sadhana. And they give their followers also the Siddha Deha by which they can do their internal sadhana. They've always done that. Why don't you follow Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gauraksha Das Baba, Jagannath Das Baba? They are following me perfectly. Why don't you do the same? Look, Krishnadas, people are running institution on the shloka Yare Dekhe Tare Kahe Krishna Updesh. Why don't you run your spiritual life on my instruction? Bhaya Antareha Duhita Sadhana. On the basis of one shloka, people are running their organizations. You can't even run your spiritual life on my instruction. I am standing in front of you. Do dual sadhana. When Mahaprabhu is telling Bhaya Antareha Duhita Sadhana, he is not giving us his opinion. He is telling us instruction. All Gaudiya Vaishnavas must do. Narottam Das Thakur also says, Sadhan Smaran Lila Ihate na kare hela. Don't delay, don't hesitate in performing Smaran. So things are sadhan means which is done by a sadhaka. Sadhaka means devotee, one who does sadhana.
Mahaprabhu has instructed all Gaudiya Vaishnavas to do Shravan Kirtan and also do internal sadhana, that is Smaran. And here, Narottam Das Thakurji is also telling the same thing. Therefore, Narottam Das Thakur is telling clearly, do not neglect the practice of smarana. Do not neglect the practice of smaran. Do not neglect the practice of smaran. While institutional acharyas are saying, never do smaran, never do smaran, never do smaran.
Whosoever is a sadhak, in whatever ras he may be, whether it is Sakhya ras or Das ras or Madhu ras, sadhak means he has got anarthas. Sadhak means he will always have, he will start with anarthas, and when he will do the sadhana as described by the acharyas, and here as described by me, the Lord, directly by the Lord, then his anarthas will go away. If you don't even follow my Vani, then how will your anarthas go away? Sadhan means those activities performed by which you can achieve your sadhya, your Ishtadev. And Mahaprabhu himself is saying, do dual-fold sadhana. If you reject that and we accept the institutional propaganda, you are not qualified. Then we can never be called a proper Gaudiya Vaishnava, because we are rejecting Mahaprabhu. See, things are very clear. Either we do twofold sadhana or we don't do twofold sadhana in the name of I am not qualified. Things are very clear. Either we have to reject Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or we will have to reject some institutional acharya. We will have to reject either of the two. You cannot follow both of them, because both of them are telling exactly the opposite thing. Mahaprabhu is telling all Gaudiya Vaishnavas must do twofold sadhana, and the institutions are saying even after 40 years you are not qualified, you shouldn't do that. So its onus is upon us whether we want to follow Mahaprabhu or some institution. This emotional attachment to an institution will never take us anywhere. Will never take us anywhere. Well, Mahaprabhu can also ask us one question. Well, all Gaudiya Vaishnavas are supposed to be Rupanuga, huh? Right? You will say yes, right. Then Rupa Goswami himself is saying, Seva Sadhak Rupena Siddha Rupena Chatrahi. Rupa Goswami is saying in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Seva Sadhak Rupen, this body is Siddha Rupen, internally conceived body one must do. Mahaprabhu is saying the same thing. Rupa Goswami is saying the same thing. So neither we want to be a Gaudiya nor we want to be a Rupanuga. We want to be an institutional Acharya Nuga. This makes any sense to anyone? Either we have to be a Rupanuga and a Gaudiya or an institutional Nuga. We cannot be both. And all the Falashrutis by Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Goswami, in all their stavas, they very clearly tell that it will bestow loving devotional service unto Sri Radha Krsna. So why don't we hear and chant about all these granthas which they have written? They will bestow the love of Radha Krishna upon all of you. This is what I am telling. They have written in all their Falshrutis, whether it is Raghunath Goswami, Rupa Goswami, all of them. There is only one fruit of hearing and chanting about their granthas, their Mahavani. You will get Radha and Krishna's prema. That is what I am telling you, do that. And if you think you are unqualified, this is such a mysterious thing. You can ask yourself this question. See, you know Rimbark Sampradaya? Yes. They are worshippers of Radha Krishna. They are dasis of Radha Krishna. You know Radha Vallavis? They are also dasis of Radha Krishna. You know Haridasis? The Bankeveri temple lineages? They are also dasis of Radha Krishna. There are many other Sampradayas who are dasis of Radha Krishna. They all are qualified to hear and chant about Radha Krishna. Only you, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, are unqualified. Does this make any sense to you? And even this Gaudiya Vaishnavas were qualified 150 years ago. Just in the last 150 years, all of a sudden they became unqualified. Out of the blue, they became unqualified. Does this make any sense to anyone who has got any sense? They are worshippers of Radha Krishna. They can hear and chant about Radha Krishna and Nimbarkis. Yes, no one says that you are not qualified. No one says in Nimbark Sampradaya. No one says this in Radha Vallabi Sampradaya, you are not qualified. No one says in this Haridasi Baki Bihari line that you are not qualified. Tatiya sir, you are not qualified. Only this saffron clad institution say you are not qualified. In Gaudiya also 50% are okay. You are qualified, and this half of them are not okay with it. Only the saffron ones are not okay with it. You are not an unqualified species. Just because you are clinging to an institution, you become an unqualified species that you cannot even hear and chant about your Ishdev. Have you ever heard about this? That you are in a particular sampradaya and neither you can hear about your Ishdev, neither you can speak about your Ishdev, nor you can do smaran about your Ishdev. Then why are you in a sampradaya then? Being in a sampradaya simply means you hear and chant about your Ishdev and remember your Ishdev. Serve your Ishdev internally and externally. This is what bhakti is. Do you got to be Sherlock Holmes to understand even this thing, a simple thing? My heart cries upon seeing the unfortunate state of the current Gaudiya Vaishnava uh, Sampradaya right now. Rejecting Vani of Rupa Goswami, rejecting Vani of Mahaprabhu, just propagating your own stuff, you are not qualified. Be very clear, either we can be Gaudiya and a Rāgānugā, or we can be a follower of emotional follower of an institution. We certainly have to reject Rupa Goswami and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or we have to reject some institution. Choice is upon us. Hare Krishna.
Therefore, we should mold our devotional life. Day and night we should practice antar and bhaya, both the sadhanas as laid down by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Only then we will truly be called as the followers of Mahaprabhu.
Maharaj ji, Madhavi Gauri Devi Dasi from ISKCON Melbourne is asking, in Vrindavan, is our Swarup decided, or can we decide our relationship with Krishna? Maharaj ji, kindly please elaborate on this.
Well, this question seems to be filled with innocence, but actually it is filled with ignorance. It's not an innocence-filled question; it's an ignorance-filled question. Why it is so? You are saying that can we choose our relationship with Krishna, or first of all devotees must understand that relationship is not chosen, is being bestowed. Relationship is being bestowed by the Sampradaya. If you are connected to Pushti Sampradaya, then obviously you are going to have Vatsalya or Krishna. Relationship is not chosen. First of all, understand this. No Sampradaya is a supermarket of all bhavas. That we can choose out of the following. We go to a mall, we choose anything what we want from the mall and get back home. Well, Sampradaya spiritual life is not like that. We are not here to choose. We get the bhava of the Sampradaya and we do sadhana and then we get siddhi. If you are saying, then can we choose our relationship with Krishna? Well, if you are not initiated and you're just starting spiritual life, you're completely ignorant, materialistic person, then well, yes, answer is yes, you can choose. But once you are connected to a Sampradaya, be very clear. In Sampradaya, at the time of initiation only, your relationship with the Lord is given to you, that you have this and this relationship with the Lord. You go to Nimbarki Sampradaya, they very clearly tell, oh, we are Dasi of Radha and Krishna. Plain and simple. No ifs and buts, lekin, kintu, parantu, why this, no, nothing. You go to any Ram Sampradaya, they will say, oh, we are Das of Lord Rama. You go to Haridasi Sampradaya, they will say, we are Dasi of Radha Krishna. Similarly, if you go leave aside Gaudiya and ISKCON, you go to entire Gaudiya Vaisnavas, they will clearly say, we are Dasi of Radha Krishna. There are no two ifs and buts about it. And first of all, understand the meaning of Sampradaya. That Sampradaya bestows only one bhava. Go to any Sampradaya in any yuga, you will see all Sampradaya, they bestow one bhava. This is the meaning of Sampradaya. Samyak pradayate iti Sampradaya. One, the Sampradaya means which gives exactly what has been given to them from the very starting. Not that you choose out of the blue and that I want this, I don't want that. And another thing in this ignorance in this question is anarpit charan chirat. Srila Rupa Goswami tells that Mahaprabhu is giving that rasa which was not bestowed earlier. Well, Sakhiras was there earlier. Sakhiras was there earlier. Dasaras was there earlier. Vasale, of course, that was there earlier. And even Gopi Bhava was there earlier. Vidyapati, Chandidas, all of them were doing sadhana and Gopi Bhava. So all the bhavas were there earlier. Then which is the bhava which was not earlier? It was servitude to Radha and Krishna as their dasi. This bhava was not there earlier. So again, if your question is that can I choose, then it means that you don't understand what Mahaprabhu has come here to give to all of us, all Gaudiya Vaishnavas. He has come here to give us Radha Krishna Seva. In Sarvam Shatak, Srila Sarvam Bhattacharya, he tells very clearly in verse number 2, Sri Radha Krishna Yaha Sevam Sthapayitva Grahe Grahe. Mahaprabhu introduces the loving devotional service of Radha Krishna in each and every home. Then why are you questioning again that which relationship should I choose? Are you not a Gaudiya Vaishnava? If you are, then there is no point asking this question. Because if you are asking this question, first of all, you don't know the meaning of a Sampradaya, and then you don't know what Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya is. So that is why I said in the start, the question is filled with ignorance. And you can see in this Chaitanya Chandramrita verse, this is by Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati, this verse 112, when Mahaprabhu came here and he preached and he gave love of God to everyone, then it seems that no other rasa remained on the planet except service to Radha and Krishna. Na eva anya asid rasaha. These are last concluding words of this verse. Na eva anya asid rasaha. Na eva anya rasa other than service to Radha Krishna, they all seem to have evaporated. Only service to Radha Krishna completely took entire planet Earth, and that everyone was practically serving Radha and Krishna. And Sampradaya means follower of Lord Gauranga. And if Mahaprabhu have given service to Radha Krishna, then Gaudiya Vaishnava will it give something else? Use some common sense. Plus, I am giving you answer from so many different angles that first of all understand meaning of Sampradaya, then understand meaning of Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, then I have given you from another way of understanding this thing, anarthas, what Mahaprabhu came to give. Now I am telling you that no other rasa remained. If you are asking this question even after chanting Hare Krishna for so many years that I don't know what relationship I have with the Lord, and I'm very sorry to say you are not in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. You are associated with some cult, some group, but not a Gaudiya Vaishnava. You ask any Gaudiya Vaishnava other than ISKCON and Gaudiya Math, they'll very clearly say, oh, just like Nimbarkis, you ask them what is your relationship with the Lord. They say, Radha Krishna are my Lord and I am their Dasi. Same with Nimbarki, same with Radhavali, same with Haridasi, and same with Gaudiya Vaishnavas, all Gaudiya Vaishnavas except ISKCON and Gaudiya Math. Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya is very plain and simple. We are Das of Lord Gauranga and Nityanavadip eternally, and Dasi of Radha Krishna in Braj eternally. All our Gosvāmīs Granthas are written just to serve Radha Krishna. There are no Granthas Sakhya Rasa written by any of our Gosvāmīs. You read so many Radha Kunda Ashtakam, Krishna Ashtakam, Radhika Ashtakam, Lalita Ashtakam. Falshruti is same. May you get love of Radha Krishna by hearing and chanting about these two things. Why this question comes? You sing Tulsi Aarti every day, morning and not just morning and evening as well. Sri Radha Govinda Preme Sadajena Bhasi Namo Namaha Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namaha. Sri Radha Govinda Preme Sadajena Bhasi. May I always float a love for Radha and Govinda. You are yourself doing morning and evening this Tulsi Aarti, and yet you are asking the question, which relationship I should have. If anyone has this question, I am very humbly telling them, they don't know the meaning of Sampradaya. They don't know what Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya is. They don't know what Mahaprabhu has come here to give to all of us. You are doing everything mechanically, whether it is Tulsi Aarti, whether it is Mangala Aarti. You don't know what your relationship with the Lord is. And any yoga, any Sampradaya, have you seen any devotee doing daily Mangal Aarti of the Lord and doesn't even know his relationship with the Lord? Have you ever heard about this horror comedy? You don't know your relationship with the Lord, you are attending a general Mangal Aarti. Oh, there's so many lords, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra is there, Sitaram is there, Narsingh Bhavan is there. I am attending a common Mangal Aarti. Anyone who attends Siddhi, he attends Mangal Aarti only his Ishtadeva, not of so many forms of God at the same time. It's totally non-required. That is why I am telling you, if you have this question, I don't know, can I have any relationship? Why you want to have any relationship with the Krishna? You don't know what is Sampradaya. It is have some basic understanding of spiritual life. Mahaprabhu has come here to give that which was not bestowed earlier. In Chaitanya Chandramrit verse 3 tells, Govind Prem Bhajam Api Na Cha Kalitam. That he is giving that with which Govind Prem Bhajam Api. That devotees filled with love for Lord Krishna, which they never get, Mahaprabhu is giving them that. Mahaprabhu is giving all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas that form of love which even devotees of Lord Krishna they don't get. He is giving not love of Krishna, Mahaprabhu is giving love for Radha and Krishna. We are not worshippers of Krishna alone. We are worshippers of Radha and Krishna. That is why Prabhupada says, Govind Prem Bhajam Api. Even one is filled with love for Lord Krishna. But Mahaprabhu is not giving that. He is giving something which was not given earlier, even by Lord Krishna himself. That is there in verse 18 of Chaitanya Chandramrit. It is, you can see this powerful Grantha, this Chaitanya Chandramrit, verse 18. It is telling that Mahaprabhu is giving that path of bhakti which even Shukdev Goswami did not know. Kindly open your eyes and ears again. Shukdev Goswami did not know the path of bhakti which Mahaprabhu is giving. The word Rādhā is not mentioned directly in Śrīmad Bhagavatam, and Mahaprabhu is giving bhakti of Rādhā, that Rādhā whose name was not mentioned, that Radha and Krishna. And he is telling in this verse only, even did Lord Krishna did not give this rasa earlier. Only Mahaprabhu, that Krishna, and as Mahaprabhu is giving the service of Radha and Krishna now. It was not bestowed earlier. And still you are asking this question, can I choose any relationship with the Lord? This question is filled with tons of ignorance. I hope this answer will give clarity to all of you.
It is therefore clear that relationship is not decided. Relationship is bestowed by Sampradaya. So if one does not know his relationship with the Lord, be very sure He is not in any Sampradaya.
Many ISKCON devotees tells us that they have heard that in Navṛtti they know their svarūpa, that they are Gaudas, but do not know one svarūpa in Braj Leela. Requesting you, Maharaji, to kindly enlighten us.
Well, your question is that we are sure that we are Gaudas in Navdvip, in the spiritual world, but in Braj we don't know what our Swarup actually is, what our relationship with Krishna is, that we are not sure of, but in Navdvip we are sure we are Gaudas. So try to understand this question from scriptures. There is a grantha called Chaitanya Chandrodaya Natak by Shripad Kavi Karnapur. He mentions very clearly that Mahaprabhu is telling Advaita Acharya, this is a conversation between Advaita Acharya and Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu is telling Advaita Acharya that, see, this also we have mentioned in our Grantha, Sri Gaudiya Vaisnavas, page 36, and also in our Grantha, Lord Gauranga's Grantha, page 27. Mahaprabhu is telling Advaita Acharya, Vrindavanya antarastha saras vilasitena. I mean, the simplest words to make us understand this shloka is, Mahaprabhu is telling that I want to give all of you, Mahaprabhu is telling everyone present in front of him, I want to give all of you the service of the divine couple in Vraja. I want to give a transcendental body to all of you by which you can serve the divine couple in Vraja. He wants to give service of Radha Krsna in Vraja. I want you to relish the highest of all seva, that is the service of the divine couple in Vraja. I want to give you, all of you, similar bodies like they have. So Mahaprabhu is bestowing upon all of them, Advaita Acharya, Nityananda, everyone, he is giving them Manjari Swarup, by which they can serve Radha and Krishna. Who is Advaita Acharya? Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu, from whose post universes come. He becomes a dasi, a Manjari of Radha and Krishna. This is God and his Aishwarya. This is Lord Gauranga's Aishwarya. He is bestowing Ananta Shesha, this Nityananda, and Gadadhar Pandit and Srivas Pandit. Now Srivas Pandit is Narada. He is bestowing on all of them service to Radha and Krishna. Mahaprabhu wants them to drown in this upsurging ocean of love. Mahaprabhu says, this great work of mine is yet to be done. It is still left. Now I am bestowing to all of you service of Radha and Krishna. Hearing about it, when Advaita Acharya heard directly these, just imagine all of a sudden Mahaprabhu tells you, well, I am giving you a body by which you can have the highest of all aswadan, highest of all relish, that is service of Radha and Krishna. How are you going to react? Mahaprabhu, after hearing this from Mahaprabhu, Advaita Acharya with folded hands, he said, Nij ichhya prapya yad yad eva. Whatever you wish to give to all of us, Nij ichhya prapya yad yad eva. Salantaram navapurantaram va. Mahaprabhu said, whatever you wish to give to all of us, you please give to us, but along with that, please give us a Swarup as your eternal servant, as your Das. And so Mahaprabhu said, Tathastu. Let it be. So Mahaprabhu, along with giving servitude for the divine couple in Vraja, he gave us his service to all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And from that time onwards, all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they have two Swarupas. One as a servant of Radha and Krishna in Braj, and as a servant of Lord Gauranga in Nitya Naudvi. And we, at the time of dīkṣā mantras, we get dīkṣā mantras of Lord Chaitanya. We get dīkṣā mantra of Lord Nityananda, Lord Advaitacharya, Gadadhar Pandit, Srivas Pandit, Gurudev. And in Braj, we get many dīkṣā mantras of Radharani, of Shri Krishna, of Lalita Sakhi, etc. So the question was, our Swarup in Braj is unknown and only Govardhan's Swarup is known. I think your question now doesn't need any more clarification because Advaitacharya has already done it for you. He himself is telling us that we will get all of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas will get two Swarupas. Don't worry, we'll get two Swarupas. First time in the history any devotee is getting two Swarupas. Otherwise, in all Sampradaya, everyone gets just one Svarūpa. Only the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they simultaneously get two Svarūpas. And Narottam Das Thakur is also telling in his Prarthana, Hethai Chaitanya Mile Setha Radha Krishna. Narottam Das Thakur is telling, on one hand, Hethai Chaitanya Mile, other hand, Setha Radha Krishna. This is Gaudiya Vaishnavas. On one hand, we get service of Lord Gauranga, and the other hand, we get service of Radha and Krishna. So, Hethai Chaitanya Mile Setha Radha Krishna. And Narottam Das Thakur also tells in one of his prarthanas, Gaur Prema Rasarnave Setarange Jeba Dube Sri Radha Madhava Antaranga. Gaur Prema Rasarnave Jetarange Seva Dube Sri Radha Madhava Antaranga. One who drowns in the ocean of love for Lord Gauranga. Gaur Prem Ras Arnave. Arna means ocean. Gaur Prem Ras Arnave. What is he going to get? Se Tarange Jeba Dube. Se Radha Madhav Antaranga. He becomes Antaranga, very intimate servant of Radha and Krishna. Say, why do you ask this question that our Swarup in Braj is unknown? Don't you ever sing this thing? Gaur Prem Rasardame Se Tarangi Jeva Dube Se Radha Madhav Antaranga. Are they telling? Thakur Maharaj is not telling, say Gaur Prem Rasardame Se Tarangi Jeva Dube Se Krishna Balram Antaranga. He is not telling this. Very clearly telling, say Radha Madhav Antaranga. Very clearly. And Chaitanya Charitamrita also, there is a verse, please put it in front along with me. Yan Prana Dhan Nityanand Shri Chaitanya Radha Krishna Bhakti Vina Nahi Jane Anya. Yan Prana Dhan Nityanand Shri Chaitanya. One whose Pran Dhan, the Lord of life, is Lord Gauranga and Lord Nityananda. Radha Krishna Bhakti Bine Nahi Jane Anya. One who loves Gaur and Nitai, he doesn't know anything else except Bhakti of Radha and Krishna. Radha Krishna Bhakti Bine Nahi Jane Anya. He doesn't know anything, he doesn't want to know anything. Radha Krishna Bhakti Bine Nahi Jane Anya. Yan Pran Dhan Nityanand Shri Chaitanya. give you one more Shastric answer to this. This is a book called Chaitanya Chandramrit. This is called verse 87. Yatha yatha gaura padara vinde vindeta bhaktim krita punya rashiha tatha tatha utsarpati hridaya akasmat Radha padambhoja sudhamburashi. You can understand this shloka that if one develops love for Lord Gauranga in his heart, all of a sudden, Hriday Akasmat, Radha Padambhuj Sudhamburashi, the transcendental effulgence emanating from Radharani's lotus feet, that all of a sudden comes in the heart of those devotees who develop love for Lord Gauranga. If you love Lord Gauranga, if you develop love for Lord Gauranga, Sakhiras will not come in your heart. Even Gopi Bhava will not come here in your heart. Vatsalya Bhava will not come here in your heart. Only one Bhava will come in your heart, that is service of Radharani, service of Radha and Krishna. The same thing is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yan pran dhan nityanand Shri Chaitanya Radha Krishna Bhakti bine nahi jane anya. Hope your question is fully answered.
Thus, be very clear, a Gaudiya Vaishnava has two svarūpas, in Navdvip Leela as Gaurdas and in Vraj Leela as Radha Krishna's Manjari.
Maharaj ji, when any devotee approaches us and when we tell them to read the Granthas of our Moola Acharyas like Prem Bhakti Chandrika, Vilap, Kusumanjali, Radha Rasuda Nidhi Granth, then the first thing they say is, we are not qualified to read these Granthas because we are full of anarthas. They are told in their institutes to read the books of their institutional acharyas only. Maharaji, if you can answer this question, then it will immensely benefit the entire Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Thank you, Maharaj.
Well, I can only give answer on the basis of scriptures. And the decision onus is on yourself, the hearers, what they want to take. Well, I am trying to repeat the words of the Goswamis, and Srila Narottam Das Thakur, he tells in Prem Bhakti Chandrika, Rati Premamay Parbandhe. It means Rati. Narottam Das Thakur is giving instruction to all Gaudiya Vaishnava devotees. Well, you are chanting Hare Krishna? Yeah, then it means you are a Gaudiya Vaishnava. He is telling all Gaudiya Vaishnavas that Rati Premamay Parbandhe, meaning one must have attachment, deep loving attachment to the Granthas of Goswamis. Deep loving attachment. Rati Premamay Parbandhe. Deep loving attachment one must have towards these Granthas. Why he is telling that? Why should one have attachment? Because attachments, the ruchi, first of all, one will, by reading these Granthas, one will have ruchi, or reading more and more of this Grantha. Then ruchi for these Granthas will turn into asakti for these Granthas. This asakti for these Granthas will turn into asakti for the Supreme Lord. Asakti for these Granthas will turn into asakti for the Supreme Lord. That is why Thakur Mahasaya is saying Rati Premay Parbandhe. One must develop deep attachment for these Granthas. these granthas are not words. They have got transcendental power within. They have got transcendental Shakti. They are filled with Shakti of the divine couple. In Prem Bhakti Chandrika, verse 9, it tells, Yahar Shravan hoite Premananda bhase chitte. Please understand, Yahar Shravan hoite. When you do hearing of these granthas, Vilapa Kusumanjali, Radha Sudhanidhi Vrindavan Mahimamrit, Prem Bhakti Chandrika, Yahar Shravan hoite Premananda bhase chitte. Your heart becomes filled with Premanand, love for the Lord. This is the only way by which one can have love for the divine couple. The hearing of these granthas from the great souls will give you immense power, not just to destroy your anarthas, but also to float in ecstatic love for the Lord. Hearing and chanting of these granthas is the primary and the most important thing that all Gaudiya Vaishnavas must do, because very clearly he is saying, Yahar Shravan hoite Premanand bhase chitte. By hearing this, your heart will float in love for the Lord. Rati premai parbandhe. One must have deep loving attachment for these granthas. And in verse 100 of Prem Bhakti Chandrika, it is said, Leela ras sadagan. Leela ras sadagan. All these Leela granthas, they should always be sung and heard. One must hear and about them, and one must sing about them, talk about them. Well, institution of commentaries say that you are not qualified. Well, Mahaprabhu says in Chaitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela 5.45, व्रज वधु संगे कृष्णेर रासा दिविलास ये जन कहे सुने करिया विश्वास हृदय रोग काम ताम्र तत्काले होय शय तीन गुण शोभना है महाधीर है. This is Mahavani of Lord Gauranga. What is Mahaprabhu telling? One who hears Yei jan kahe sune kariye vishwas. With faith, if you hear and chant about Radha and Krishna, Hridaya Rog, your lust never increases. What happens? Hridaya Rog kam tan tat kale hoy shay. The lust and other anarthas in your heart, that moment only they get destroyed. Such is the transcendental power, extreme transcendental Shakti in these words, that all your anarthas get destroyed by hearing and chanting about them. Yehi jane kahe, who talks about them, speaks about them. Yehi jane shune, koriya vishwas. तीन गुण शोभे नहीं महाधीर होए. Mahaprabhu is telling, if you really hear and hear and speak up from these granthas of Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Goswami, then you will become mahadhir. Lust will never even be able to touch you. And this is a shloka from Radha Sudhanidhi, verse 269. Very beautiful it is explained here. And that these shlokas, the Sanskrit shlokas in these granthas, Sudhanidhi, Vilapa Samanjali, etc., they are invested with very, you can say, high octane transcendental powers. The words emanating from Prabhupada Saraswati, Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Goswami, they are mixed, they are gelled with the transcendental effulgence coming from Radharani's lotus feet. All these words in these granthas, they are mixed. They are not words. Kakhaga, sa, they are not Sanskrit words. They are mixed with the transcendental effulgence coming straight from the lotus feet of Radharani. When one does hear about these words, that Shakti of what emanates from Radharani? प्रेम परम सार महाभाव जानी सही महाभाव रूपा राधा ठाकुरानी. प्रेम param sar mahabhav jani. Know that the param sar of prema is mahabhav. That condensed form of mahabhav is Radharani. And what emanates from her lotus feet, the toenails from her lotus feet is mahabhav yukt only, filled with mahabhav. So these words emanating from Goswamis are filled with mahabhav. They are filled with transcendental Shakti. So whosoever hears them, this is what Mahaprabhu, that is why I took this shloka 269 from Sudha Nidhi along with Mahaprabhu's Chaitanya Charitamrita shloka. Mahaprabhu is saying, Hridro kam tan tatkale hoy shay. That very moment the lust etc. gets destroyed. Why it gets destroyed? Question arises. Because these words are not words. They are filled with the transcendental Shakti emanating from Radharani's lotus feet. These words are filled with Mahabhav. So when you hear something scented with Radharani's Mahabhav, so is your lust going to be destroyed or your heart is going to be filled with prema? So you try to understand. By hearing about this Grantha, your heart will get filled with prema. This is what Thakur Mahasaya is saying. Yahar Shravan hote premanand bhase chitte. Now you are understanding all these things. Mahaprabhu is saying, lust, they'll get destroyed, lust, etc. all of a sudden. Why? This is, Sudanadi is telling, because they are filled with transcendental Mahabhav Shakti. And this is what Thakur Mahasaya is saying. Yahar Shravan hote premanand bhase chitte. Forget lust. Your heart will float in kingdom of ecstatic love. And who is averse to this? Who doesn't? No, I am not qualified. No. Then Prem Bhakti Chandrika tells about those people also. Ihate vimukhe jai tar kabu siddhi nai. Ihate vimukhe jai. You're opposed to this teaching that hear about them. Leela Sadadan. Thakur Mahasaya is saying, you said you are not qualified. He says Sada means 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, Sadadan. You are saying you are not qualified. I mean, don't oppose words of Mahaprabhu. Don't oppose words of Narottam Das Thakur. He himself is saying, Ihate vimukh jai. If you are opposed to these teachings of hearing and chanting of Goswamis, your lust will never get destroyed. It will always increase and you will never float in the kingdom of ecstatic love. You want prema. This prema only you are going to get by hearing these words. Why? Because these words, these shlokas, these explanations are filled with Mahabhav. This is what 269 verse of Sudhanidhi is telling. Then again, I think it's somewhere around 271 and Sudhanidhi, piyatam. Constantly drink these nectarian words in the explanation of these shlokas. Piyatam. They are not telling, just hear. They say drink. Drink to such an extent that it becomes a beverage. Constantly drink. Piyatam. Bucket full of this stuff one must drink every day. From the mouth of realized souls. One who has seen the truth can make you see the truth. And here Thakur Mahasaya says, Ihate vimukh jai tar kabu siddhi nai. Na shuniye tar jeno naam. He is saying one is opposed to this teaching that one should hear and one should not even hear their names. You are sitting in an institution, Mahaprabhu is saying you should not even hear their names who tell you not to hear the words of our Goswamis. Don't even hear their name. Na shuniye tar jeno naam. And in verse 101 of Prem Bhakti Chandrika, An Katha na bolibo, An Katha na shunibo. Lalsa Bhishta Katha. He is saying, don't hear anything else. Don't speak anything else. Just hear and chant these words of the Goswamis. And exactly opposite the institutions are teaching. Saffron Bhakti Siddhanta and the followers are teaching, don't hear, you're not qualified. They are saying you will become qualified by hearing this only. Not qualified. You will be able to make others qualified also. And he's saying, don't hear anything else. Any other pastime or other forms of the Lord. Hear about Radha Krishna. As explained by our Goswamis. This is not Sahajya. This is being Rūpānugā. Following Rupa Goswami, there's words as it is. Lalsa Abhishta Katha Iha Bina Sakali Anartha. If you do anything else other than hearing and chanting of the Lord, Thakur Maharaj is saying, Iha Bina Sakali Anartha. Everything you're doing is just anartha. Has got no meaning. You're doing seva, it has got no meaning. You're hearing anything else, it has got no meaning. We are not saying this. Thakur Maharaj is saying, if you don't like it, you can put up a court case against Nautam Das Thakur. Oh, why the hell are you saying this? Oh, my institution says you're not qualified. We're saying one who is not qualified, if one thinks and doesn't hear all this, then Tar Kabu Siddhi Nai. He's saying this. You never get perfection. ISKCON was the only institution on the planet in all the four Sampradayas, in all the yugas who tell you can't hear about your Lord, you can't speak about your Lord, you can't remember your Lord. Is this a Sampradaya? Sampradaya means where you only do hearing about your Lord, where you speak about the Lord, where you remember the Lord. This is the meaning of Sampradaya. In all the four yugas, such a cult has never come into the existence which tells you not to hear about your God, not to hear about your God, not to remember anything about your God. This is Sampradaya. And even Shukdev Goswami is telling in Śrīman Bhāgavatam, this Panchadhyaya last shloka, Vikrinitam Brajvadubhir idam ya Vishnoha Shraddhavan Vito Anushunuyat Atha Varnayed Yaha. It means that one who faithfully hears these pastimes about Radha Krishna, he will attain the supreme devotion to the Lord and he will become free from all the diseases such as lust, etc. One who hears them and one who remains far away from them, then prema also remains far away from them, and anartha will only embrace them non-stop. It means you will not embrace Radha Krishna, you will embrace only Kam, Krodha and Lobha. If you remain opposed to them, you remain far away from these granthas. Prema Yahar Shravan Hote Premanand Bhase Chitte. What more Gaudiya Vaishnavas need to hear? By hearing this, your heart floats in ecstatic love. I am speaking about Radha Krishna for around 2 decades at least. I haven't seen any of my followers, their lust has ever come into existence by hearing about them. I have seen lust getting destroyed. And Srila Sanatana Goswami, who gives commentary on this verse, he says, we have given all these explanations in our Grantha via Gaudiya Vaishnava, page 178. Vaishnava Toshni commentary, Srila Sanatana Goswami tells, Atra tu Hrid Rog Apahanat Purvam Eva Parma Bhakti Praptihi Tasmat Parma Balvad Eva Devam Sadhanam Iti Bhavaha. He says that attainment of the highest bhakti is mentioned in this verse. Ras Panchadhyayi, Falshruti of Ras Panchadhyayi is one who hears and chants about Radha and Krishna, his lust will get destroyed and he will get prema. In simple words, I am telling the meaning of what Sanatana Goswami is saying. Sanatana Goswami tells that the very fact that you will get prema is mentioned first and lust will get destroyed later on. It means this is such a powerful practice that hearing and chanting of this is so powerful that it will destroy ignorance completely, and it will appear that these anarthas, they went later and prema came first. It's such a powerful practice. By hearing and chanting prema, this prema for the Lord will come so fast. Then you think prema came first. If you really want to attain love for the Supreme Lord very quickly, then there is only one way. There was only one way. There will always be one way. And one way is Yahar Shramana Hoite Premananda Bhase Chitte Leela Ras Sadagan Jivane Marane Ei. Thakur Maharaj says, whether you're alive or dead, just do this thing. What? Leela Ras Sadagan. Always hear about the Leela of your Ishtadev. Lord Ram's followers don't have to do this. They have to hear and chant about Lord Ram. And followers of Radha Krishna, devotees of Radha Krishna, they don't have to do anything else. They have to hear and chant about their Ishtadev, that is Radha Krishna. And on top of that, if you read Sri Radha Sudhanidhi, verse 217, it says that don't bring me any scriptures which don't have anything to do with Radharani. I will read only those scriptures which are filled only with Radharani. He is very telling us clearly scriptures which don't carry the nectarian glorification of Srimati Radharani, which don't explain about her bhava. What is the need for such holy scriptures for our Gaudiya Vaishnavas? Please hear attentively. Verse 217, Radha Sudhanidhi. Acharya, not a senior devotee of our organization. Acharya is himself Srila Prabodhanand Saraswati. Srila Prabodhanand Saraswati. He is telling what is the need of any other holy scriptures, any holy scripture, if it doesn't have anything to do with Radharani. What is the need for such a path of devotion which has got nothing to do with Radharani? Well, what he wants to tell us by this is read only those scriptures which have got everything to do with your Ishtadev, and don't read any scriptures which have got nothing to do with your Ishtadev. And who are our Ishtadev? Radha Krishna Prana Mora Jugala Kishore Jivane Marane Gati Aranahi Mo Radha Krishna, Radha Krishna, Radha Krishna Prana Mora Jugala Kishore Jivane Marane Gati Aranahi Mo. Just have some common sense also that devotees in Radha Vallavi Sampradaya, they are qualified to hear and speak about Radha and Krishna. Devotees in Nimbar Sampradaya, they are also devotees of Radha Krishna, they are also qualified to hear about Radha Krishna. And Haridas is also, they are qualified to hear about Radha Krishna. No acharyas in their parampara so long, hundreds of years parampara tells them that you are not qualified. We are also followers of Radha Krishna, devotees of Radha Krishna. Why the hell on the earth only we are the only unfortunate Radha Krishna devotees? We are not qualified to hear, and all the Nimbarkis are qualified to hear about Radha Krishna. All the Radha Vallavis are qualified to hear about Radha Krishna, and all the Haridasis, all of them are qualified to hear Radha Krishna. Only we, the unfortunate Gaudiyas. Are we the unfortunate Gaudiyas? Or we are the supreme fortunate Gaudiyas, Mahaprabhu's followers? I mean, have some common sense. Don't be an institutional fanatic. Institutional fanaticism will never take you anywhere in spiritual life. Keeping devotees away from hearing and chanting about these Rasa Granthas, this is like berefting them from getting prema. This is the highest atrocity on a devotee, that you stop them from hearing and chanting about Radha and Krishna. Greatest torture on a Gaudiya Vaishnava can be if you somehow stop him to stop hearing and chanting about Radha and Krishna from Gosvāmīs Granthas. And ISKCON and Gaudiya Math are doing only this. Morning to night they have only one parroting. You are not qualified, you are not qualified. And he is saying Leela Ras Sadagan. He hate vimukhi tar kabu siddhi nahi. all Sampradāyas are qualified about hearing and chanting about Rādhā. Only the Gaudiya, not even total Gaudiya Vaishnavas, only the small sect called ISKCON Gaudiya, they are unqualified to hear about Radha Krishna. Rest, Radha Vallabhis are qualified to hear, Nimbarkis are qualified to hear about Radha Krishna, Haridasis, we all also are Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur and his followers are qualified to hear about Radha Krishna, Gaudiya Babaji's followers are qualified to hear about Radha Krishna, Jagannath Bhavi's Samadhi, you go in Mayapur, they are also qualified to hear about Radha Krishna. 3 out of your 5 in your altar, they are qualified to hear about Radha Krishna. We are qualified, Nimbarkis are qualified, Radha Vallabhis are qualified, Haridas are qualified. Only Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada followers are not qualified. Come on, come on, have mercy, have some common sense. See what kind of cult you are in. These words are filled with Mahabhav emanating from the toenails of the tips of Srimati Radharani's lotus feet. They are so powerful. Varshantameva sahaj sakhyadara. Varshantameva. These from Radharani's lotus feet, this constant rain of Mahabhav, Prema is there. And these words are filled with that. If you hear about that, these words will 100% touch your heart. I am assuring you, this word will destroy the anarthas in your heart, plus they will give you prema. This is all what you want. Remedy is this. And the problem is, you are not taking the medicine and you want to become okay, transcendentally fit, without taking any medicine. This is the greatest injustice any spiritual leader can do to the follower, than making him not hear about these granthas. The greatest injustice. People, devotees in ISKCON government can't even conceive how much they are being bereft just because of this kalpanik, imaginary concept you are not qualified. Everyone on the planet of all Sampradayas are qualified except this Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada's followers. And 3 of them in their altar, their followers are qualified. Just these 2 Bhaktivedanta followers, they are not qualified. And the question is, if you, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, have taken initiation, kanthi and doing tilak, if you are not qualified, who on the earth is qualified to read these granthas? Obviously, Nimbarkis are not going to read our granthas. Obviously, Radha Vallabhis are not going to read our granthas. Obviously, they will read their Acharya's granthas. Then from whom Rāgānugā Gosvāmīs Granthas, from whom they have written these granthas? Have some common sense. They read only their Acharya's granthas, all these Radha Vallabhis, Haridasis. They are my friends. Their Acharyas, I meet with them. They are my friends. They do only this thing. They hear and talk about their Acharya's granthas. So we have to do the same thing. Is there any something rocket science which you are talking about? If you are a follower of Lord Ram, just hear and speak about them and remember him. Remember how you are going to serve him in spiritual world. The same thing, if you are a devotee of Radha Krishna, hear about them, speak about them, just think how you are going to serve them. I mean, can't you even understand this thing? Jaki upasna, tahi ki vasna, tahi ke naam roop gun gaiye. Whatever worship you are doing, if it is of Radha Krishna, then have that desire, oh, I want to attend Radha Krishna. Then tahi ke naam roop gun gaiye. Hear about them, talk about them, be happy hearing, talking about them. By this you will get love for them. Now you understand why we get love by hearing about them? Because these words are not words, they are gelled, mixed, imbued with the Mahabhav emanating from the lotus feet of Srimati Radha. Gaur Premanande.
All Vaishnavas should understand this very clearly, that only by Lord's will any Vaishnava gets connected to a bona fide Sampradaya or lineage. Getting connected to a bona fide lineage means one should read the Granthas of the Sampradāyas Acharyas. One should lead life in allegiance to the Sampradāyas Acharyas. You may go to any Sampradaya. No one would ever say you are not qualified to read your Acharya's Granthas. Rather, all devotees in all Sampradaya read only and only their Acharya's Granthas. Same way, we Gaudiya Vaishnavas should read Granthas by Sri Raghunath Goswami, Sri Narottam Das Thakur ji, etc. and make our life successful.
Maharaj Ji, one devotee from ISKCON told us that our leaders tells us that only after anartha nivṛtti we can start Rāgānugā Bhakti. So is this so, Maharaj Ji? Kindly please clear it down.
ISKCON leader tell their devotees that after anartha nivṛtti only one can do Raganuga Bhakti. Is it right or not? Well, if I go by your words, you're saying that after anartha nivṛtti we can do Raganuga Bhakti. It means you are not doing Raganuga Bhakti right now. You're not doing Raganuga Bhakti right now. Well, Krishna Bhakti in all rasas is Raganuga Bhakti only. Whether as a dasya, as a das of Shri Krishna, as a sakha of Shri Krishna, as a vatsalya, in vatsalya of Shri Krishna, or gopi bhava, manjari bhava, all are forms of Raganuga Bhakti only. Even dasya bhakti of Krishna is a very special form of dasya. That is also Raganuga Bhakti. So if you are saying that after anartha nivṛtti you will do Raganuga Bhakti, it means you are not doing Raganuga Bhakti right now. So my next question to you is, are you doing Krishna Bhakti? You say, I am doing Krishna Bhakti. But Krishna Bhakti is only Raganuga Bhakti. There is no general Krishna Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti of Krishna. Krishna Bhakti means Raganuga Bhakti. So if you are saying that after anartha nivṛtti you will do Raganuga Bhakti, it means you are saying after anartha nivṛtti I will do Krishna Bhakti. But you say you are already doing Krishna Bhakti. After anartha nivṛtti of doing Krishna Bhakti, you will do Raganuga Bhakti. Is there any sense to it? Krishna Bhakti means Raganuga Bhakti. After anartha nivṛtti, if you will do Raganuga Bhakti, you want to say after anartha nivṛtti, I will do Krishna Bhakti. But you yourself are contradictory. You are saying you are already doing Krishna Bhakti. But you are only saying that after anartha nivṛtti, you will do Krishna Bhakti in the form of Raganuga Bhakti. Then what are you actually saying? Do you know even your question? How can I answer someone who doesn't even know his question? There is no general form of Krishna Bhakti that after doing general form of Krishna Bhakti, his anarthas will go and then he will do Raganuga Bhakti. There is no general Krishna Bhakti. Krishna Bhakti is done as 5 rasas. There is no restless Krishna Bhakti. I am doing some restless Krishna Bhakti of first, then anarthas will go away, then I will do some kind of a Raganuga Bhakti. If this is the teachings given in the organization, then please understand you are at a wrong place. Because first, again coming back to the same thing, you don't even know the meaning of Sampradaya. In Sampradaya, only one bhava is being bestowed. So if you got dīkṣā, you already got seed of some form of Raganuga Bhakti. If you are in Krishna Bhakti, you are initiated, you must have gotten some form of a seed, either vatsalya or manjari or gopi or dasya bhava of Krishna. So when you are saying that you will do Raganuga Bhakti after anartha nivṛtti, you don't even know the meaning of Sampradaya. That Sampradaya bestows one bhava. You don't know the meaning of Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, that what bhava Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya bestows. You already got, if you were in a proper Gaudiya Vaishnava line, you already got seed of Radha Krishna Bhakti. And there is no general Krishna Bhakti. I am really crying from inside when I am hearing this crazy question. Because how to tell you the answer to this, such a simple thing? You just tell your leaders that, Sir, Prabhuji Maharaj, I want to know what Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya is. What are the teachings of Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya minus Bhaktivinoda Thakur and his family and his followers. You just tell me about Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya minus Bhaktivinoda Thakur and his followers. Let it be Bhakti Siddhanta or Prabhupada, anyone. Sampradaya except this family and his followers. Do you want to say this? Huge Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya exists. Jagannath Puri, Navadvip, Vrindavan, Rāgānugā, go anywhere, Manipur. Huge Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya exists. Just try to understand what Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya is. Right now, the year is 2023. Just go back and Just think that right now the year is 1823. Just try to understand Gaudiya Vaishnavism as if you are not in 2023, you are in 1823 or 1723. What Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya is. Because we are following exactly the same what was in 1623, 1723, 1823, 1923, 2023. You are following exactly the same. Don't put institutional commentaries, logics. You want to say only after anartha nivṛtti you can do Raganuga Bhakti. It means to become servant of Lord Narayan, you don't have to pass through the stage of anartha nivṛtti. To become servant of Lord Krishna, you have to pass through the stage of anartha nivṛtti. But to become servant of Lord Narayan or Lord Ram, you don't have to pass through the stage of anartha nivṛtti. Again the Savior comes. Eight sadhan bhakti duita prakar. Sadhan bhakti is of two forms, Vedi and Raganuga. Sadhana means done by sadhak. Sadhak means who will cross through the stages of Nishra, Ruchi, Asakti, all this Bhava Prem. Whether you want to attain service of Lord Narayan or whether you want to attain Dasya of Shri Krishna, you have to cross through all the stages. There is a wrong propagation being done. Rāgānugā Bhakti means spontaneous Bhakti. Rāgānugā Bhakti is not for us. If you are saying Rāgānugā Bhakti is not for us, you are very clear saying Kṛṣṇa Bhakti is not for us. Because Rāgānugā Bhakti is Kṛṣṇa Bhakti. Kṛṣṇa Bhakti is Rāgānugā Bhakti. Like Papa and Father, they are one and the same thing. No? There's something else. Mama and Mummy, same thing. Similarly, Kṛṣṇa Bhakti and Rāgānugā Bhakti, the same thing, synonyms. Modern institutions are debating so much innocent devotees that they're ruining lives of devotees. Let's assume you want to become Sakha, friend of Krishna. So you have to cross through the stage of anartha nivṛtti to become Sakha. Is there any logic? Becoming Krishna Sakha is also Raganuga Bhakti. And if you want to make Krishna your Laddu Gopal, still you have to cross through the stage of anartha nivṛtti. Is it making any sense to anyone? This can make sense only to institutional leaders. Fanatic institution, blind institution leaders. You are qualified to become Das of Narayan, but you are not qualified to become Das of Krishna. Like Rakta Patrak. Wow. All glories to your ignorance.
Be very clear. Raganuga Bhakti means Krishna Bhakti, and whatever form of Raganuga Bhakti we perform, one will have anarthas. So, it is a myth that one can start Raganuga Bhakti only after anartha nivṛtti.
Maharaji, Shyam Sundar Das from Sweden is asking, if we have anarthas, can we still do Raganuga Bhakti? Shyam Sundar Das from Sweden is asking this question. Can you please elaborate on this, Maharaji?
Question is, if we have lust, anger, greed inside our heart, if we have anarthas, can we do Raganuga Bhakti or not? This is a question. Well, Chaitanya Charitamrita, our Savior, this Grantha, this gives the answer, clarity about whether we can do Raganuga Bhakti or not if we have anarthas. Chaitanya Charitamrita tells, Eita sadhan bhakti duita prakar. Ek Vaidhi Bhakti, Raganuga Bhakti are. It is telling sadhan bhakti duita prakar. Sadhan bhakti is of two types. One is Vaidhi Bhakti, one is Raganuga Bhakti. In simplest of words, sadhana or bhakti is of two types. One is Vaidhi Bhakti and one is Raganuga Bhakti. And please understand once and for all that sadhana is done by a sadhak. Sadhak means one who has got Kam, Krodh, Lobh, all the anarthas, and he wants to do Bhagavad Prapti. He wants to attain the service of the lotus feet of the Lord. So any form of bhakti, whether it's bhakti of Lord Ram, Lord Narsimha, Lord Krishna, Lord Vara, any form of bhakti, any devotee doing, that person will always have anarthas. And be very clear, Raganuga Bhakti is not spontaneous bhakti. Hundreds and thousands and millions of devotees all over the world, no matter what form of bhakti they are doing, no matter in what universe they are doing, no matter on what planet they are doing, they will all have anarthas till they get perfection. Prema. Before getting prema, no matter what form of bhakti you are doing, you will have anarthas, 100% sure. No doubt about it. It is not that only you have anarthas. Everyone has got anarthas. Even Indradev has got anarthas. Gradually, all devotees, whether they are devotees of Lord Ram or Lord Narsingadev or Shri Krishna, all devotees gradually they start Ado Shraddha, then Nishtha, then Ruchi, then Asakti, then Bhava, and then Prem. After anartha nivṛtti, all this Nishtha, etc., all the devotees cross through all these stages. See, this is the Grantha, be a Gaudiya Vaisnava, and the page number 199. Stairs we have shown, Vaidhi Bhakti, Dasya Bhakti, Sakhya Bhakti. The stairs are all the same. Anartha nivṛtti is there, then Nishtha, then Ruchi, then Asakti, then Bhava, then Prem. Whether you are a Ram Bhakt, you will have to cross all the stages. Whether you are a Krishna Bhakt, whether you are any devotee, any Narayan Bhakt, or any form of any devotee of any sort, in any universe, you will have to go through these stages. And don't think that only after anartha nivṛtti I can do a particular form of bhakti. No matter what form of bhakti you do, you will all have to go through all the stages. Sadhana, this is what Chaitanya, I said Savior is Chaitanya Charitamrita. Remember the word Savior. Why I said Savior? Because it is telling sadhana bhakti is duita prakar. Sadhan means who has got anarthas. Krishna's Kaviraj is telling with anarthas you can do two forms of bhaktis. One is Vaidhi and one is Raganuga. Sadhana means one sadhak who has got anarthas. And Krishna's Kaviraj is telling those who you have got anarthas, you can do both forms of bhakti, Vaidhi Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti. It is absolutely wrong to think that only after anartha nivṛtti, only after Kam Krodh Lobh is finished, I can do Raganuga Bhakti. This is one thing. First of all, with anarthas, one can do Raganuga Bhakti and Vaidhi Bhakti. This Krishna's Kaviraj is telling. One can sadhan bhakti duita prakar. Two forms of sadhana. He is saying one can do sadhana while having anarthas, one can do Raganuga sadhana. And question is there only one form of Raganuga Bhakti or there are many forms of Raganuga Bhakti? Please listen and clear this thing once and for all. All forms of Krishna Bhakti are Raganuga Bhakti. Dasya Bhakti of Krishna Bhakti is also Raganuga Bhakti. Sakhya Bhav Bhakti of Krishna is also Raganuga Bhakti. Vatsalya Bhava Bhakti of Krishna is also Raganuga Bhakti. And Gopi Bhav or Manjari Bhav, all are forms of different forms of Raganuga Bhakti. How to understand plain and simple words? What is the difference between Raganuga Bhakti and Vaidhi Bhakti? Because we get fearful, freezed when we hear this word Raganuga, as if we have heard the name of a monster. What is Raganuga? What is Vaidhi? Vaidhi Bhakti simply means a devotee who wants to cross over the cycle of birth and death and wants to attain servitude of any form of the Lord. That is called Vaidhi Bhakti. Want to cross over birth and death and want to go to a spiritual world when there is no birth, age, old, disease and death. This is called Vaidhi Bhakti. And what is Raganuga Bhakti? Trying to attain the service of the Lord in a specific rasa. Whether it is Sakhya Ras, Vatsalya Ras, Gopi Bhav, Manjari Bhav, they are all forms of Raganuga Bhakti. You don't have to become fearful the moment you hear word Raganuga. It is not for me. All forms of Krishna Bhakti are Raganuga Bhakti. It is only a question whether if you want to just be in the spiritual world somehow as a servant of the Lord anywhere in the spiritual world of Lord serving Lord Narayan anywhere, then Vaikuntha, then it is very bhakti, plain and simple. Keep it very simple. All forms of Krishna bhakti were always Raganuga Bhakti, will always be Raganuga Bhakti. We have to be very clear in our understanding. See, you all devotees, Gaudiya Vaisnavas who are in ISKCON, some are spending 10 years, 20, 30, 40 years. You don't even know the difference between Vaidhi Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti. 99% of ISKCON devotees. I am here to tell you all these things on the basis of scriptures. But Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 7.26 is telling, Aishwarya Jnane na paye Brajendra Kumar. One is fixed in awe and reverential mood towards the Lord. He can never attain Krishna. Rag Bhakte Vraje Swayam Bhagwan Pai. Only devotees who practice Rag Bhakti, they attain Krishna. So if you want to attain Krishna, you have to do Rag Bhakti. Vidhi Bhakti Parshad De Vaikunthe Jai. One who does Vidhi Bhakti, please don't burden yourself. What is Vidhi? What is Rag? Vidhi Bhakti means just to cross the ocean of birth and death, disease, old age, and want to attain service of Supreme Lord as His servant in Vaikuntha. I do spiritual practices. That is called Vidhi Bhakti. And Rag Bhakti Vraje Swayam Bhagwan Pai. Only by doing Rag Bhakti one attains Krishna. Why is it so? Rag Bhakti means desiring to attain Krishna specific rasa. Only if you want to attain Krishna specific rasa, you will attain Krishna. Plain and simple. If you are not very particular in your desire that I want to attain Krishna specific rasa, you will not go to Golu. Just a form of service as a servant of the Lord. If you are doing bhakti, birth, old age, disease, death, and Lord is supreme, I am His servant. That is called Vidhi Bhakti. This is a very beautiful Grantha by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Ragvartma Chandrika. In 2.7, he is telling, Atha Raganuga Bhakti Majasya. He is telling the details in 2.7. I am telling you the translation. First of all, the wrong thing propagated to us was that Raganuga Bhakti is spontaneous bhakti. Well, Raganuga Bhakti is not spontaneous bhakti. Raganuga spontaneous bhakti is only of Nanda Yashoda, Lalita Vishakha, Ruprati Manjiris, Rakta Patrak. Those are eternal associates of the Lord. They only do spontaneous bhakti. Spontaneous love for Krishna. Only they do spontaneous bhakti. Ekta sadhan bhakti duita prakar. The Savior Chaitanya Charitamrita is coming again. Ek Vaidhi Bhakti, Raganuga Bhakti are. So sadhaka, this Vishwanath Chakravarti is telling in 2.7 Ragvartma Chandrika that gradually all the Raganuga Bhaktas, in whatever rasa you are, see who is telling? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, not your temple president, not some senior authority. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who is always right. He is telling all forms of Raganuga Bhakti, they have to gradually pass these stages of anartha, nivṛtti, nishtha, ruchi, asakti, and after that they get to the stage of prema. Very clearly he is telling nishtha, ruchi, asakti, anantaram prema bhumika arudasya. You understand this Sanskrit? Prema bhumika arudasya. After what? After anartha, nivṛtti, nishtha, ruchi, asakti, anantaram prema bhumika arudasya. So very clearly, Vishwanath Chakravarti is telling here, all forms of Raganuga Bhakti are all sadhanas, all sadhak, all devotees, all of them, no matter you are in Vatsalya, Gopi Bhava, Manjari Bhava, even form of Krishna's Das, you will have to pass through the stage of anartha, nivṛtti. Vaidhi Bhakti or Raganuga simply means you want to attain Krishna in a particular ras, that is Raganuga Bhakti. And you just want to attain Lord's service somehow, some way, that is Vaidhi Bhakti. And here, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is very clearly telling, all Raganuga Bhaktas, Prem Arudasya, they attain stage of Prema only after Anartha Nivṛtti, ruchi, asakti. Everyone has to pass through these stages. No one is an exception to this. And no one, Raganuga Bhakti is not spontaneous. Spontaneous Bhakti of Lalita Vishakha, Ruprati Manjaris. And we pray that the Bhakti they have got in their hearts, may we get a drop of that Bhakti. We pray for the drop of the ocean of Bhakti which they have in their hearts. That oceanic Bhakti, they are spontaneous Bhaktas, not we all sadhakas. This is a very wrong logic given. Only after anartha nivṛtti you can start. Are you greater than Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who is very clearly telling all Raganuga Bhakti devotees in all Sampradāyas, not in Gaudiya. He is not telling about Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. He is telling it for all Sampradāyas. And I have heard Acharyas in all Sampradāyas, they are quoting this topic from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. I have heard devotees of other Sampradāyas also. You have to pass through these stages to attain prema.
Scriptures clearly tell bhakti is of two types, Vedi Bhakti, Raganuga Bhakti. And whether one does Vedi Bhakti or Raganuga Bhakti, one will have anarthas in the beginning. In every form of bhakti, one gradually crosses from anartha nivṛtti, nishtha, ruchi, asakti, bhava to finally reach the stage of prema.
Maharajji, one devotee, Gopal Das from ISKCON Mayapur, wants a clarification. Only after attaining the stage of bhava, we can do Raganuga Bhakti, not before that. Please enlighten, Maharajji.
For this question, you have to understand what bhava stage actually is and what Raganuga Bhakti actually is. By understanding these two things, you can decide on your own. If somebody is saying that only after attaining the stage of bhava, one can do Raganuga Bhakti, one can begin Raganuga Bhakti after attaining stage of bhava. Anyone who is saying that, be very clear, that person is 100% situated not in knowledge but 100% situated in ignorance. Why so? Why I am saying this? Be very clear. Whether you want to attain Das Bhakti of Lord Narayan, you will gradually have to cross the stages anartha nivṛtti, nishtha, ruchi, asakti, bhava, prem, even if you want to attain service of Lord Narayan. And even if you want to attain service of Lord Krishna and Dasya Ras, be very attentive. Even if you want to attain Krishna's service in Dasya Ras in Golok, you will have to go through the stage of anartha nivṛtti, nishtha, ruchi, asakti, bhava. That bhava stage will come there also. In Krishna's Dasya Ras, bhava stage will come in Narayan's Dasya Ras also. And if you want to attain Sakhya Bhakti of Krishna, again anartha nivṛtti, nishtha, ruchi, asakti, bhava stage and prema. And gopi bhava also same bhava stage. After anartha nivṛtti, bhava stage, prema, and manjari bhava also. Gradually all the stage you pass and then you stage of bhava and then prema. If a person is saying you have to attain the stage of bhava and then do Raganuga Bhakti, then it is very plain and simple that person doesn't even know what he is talking about. The question itself is wrong. You tell me, answer to your question, what stage of bhava you will reach? In which rasa? Stage of bhava is reached in a particular rasa. I told you, in Narayan Bhakti, in Krishna's Dasya Bhakti, Krishna Sakhya Bhakti, Vatsalya Bhakti, Manjari Bhakti, Gopi Bhav, in all stages you reach the stage of bhava. So you tell me, you want to say, you will attain stage of bhava, then you will do Raganuga Bhakti. Then which stage of bhava, in which rasa you will attain the stage of bhava before doing Raganuga Bhakti? Are you doing Krishna Bhakti? Yes. But you are saying you are doing Krishna Bhakti, but you will attain some imaginary stage of bhava and then you will do Raganuga Bhakti. But Raganuga Bhakti was always Krishna Bhakti, was always Raganuga Bhakti. You are saying you are doing Krishna Bhakti. I am not saying. You are saying you are doing Krishna Bhakti. If you are doing Krishna Bhakti, it is Raganuga Bhakti, first of all. Then you cannot cross over. You need not cross over. And if you are doing some form of Krishna Bhakti without any of the five rasas, then please tell us which kind of Krishna Bhakti is this. It is not mentioned anywhere in the scriptures. Scripture says Dasya Bhakti of Krishna, Sakhe Bhakti, Vatsalya, Gopi Bhava, Manjari Bhava. There is no generic Krishna Bhakti, general Krishna Bhakti and specific Krishna Bhakti. Have you ever heard in any scripture, I am doing general Krishna Bhakti of the Lord, then I will switch on to specific Krishna Bhakti of the Lord in a particular rasa? You tell us then which form of Krishna Bhakti you are doing right now. Any rasa, any rasa in which you are bhakti right now? No. Then you are doing bhakti bhavless state. You are doing bhakti without bhav. You are not doing bhakti in Krishna Dasya Bhava or Sakhe Bhava, Vatsalya or Manjari or Gopi Bhava. You are not doing that. Then you want to attain the stage of bhav without doing bhakti in any bhav. Does it make sense to anyone? If you want to attain the stage of bhav without doing bhakti in any bhav, generic bhakti, by doing generic bhakti, you want to attain an imaginary stage of bhav without doing bhakti in any bhav. Does this make sense to anyone who is hearing this? Even if I die, even after my death, even after 100 years, if anyone will hear this, they will laugh at the current ISKCON people, what they are talking about. You want to reach an imaginary stage of bhav without doing bhakti in any form of any bhava. Do you know what the stage of bhav actually is? Have you seen anyone in the stage of bhav? I have seen many. Do you know anyone practically you have seen anyone in the stage of bhav? You know what the stage of bhav actually is? Bhav stage means when your mind, your intelligence, your ego, everything about you is totally colored in a envelope, colored in a particular bhav for the Supreme Lord. Bhav stage means when your mind, intelligence, ego is sakhyized. If you want to become a sakha, then you become sakhyized in a way. If you want to become a gopi for the Lord and you attain the stage of bhav, then your mind, intelligence, ego, everything gopiized. Nothing remains in your certain world to be gopiized further. Totally, mind, intelligence, ego, totally enveloped in a particular color. For Shri Krishna, anyone who attains stage of Vatsalya Ras also in that bhav stage, his mind, intelligence, everything about him is just completely Vatsalya Rasized. You want to say that attaining such a higher stage when you are completely happy in your relationship with Krishna, you will stop that bhakti and you will do some kind of Raganuga Bhakti. I mean, first of all, how you attain stage of bhav without doing bhakti in any bhav? Have some mercy on yourself. Answer yourself this stupid question. How can anyone attain stage of bhav without doing bhakti in any bhav? And after attaining such a high stage of bhav, I will leave that and cross over to do another imaginary concept of bhakti. And bhakti is not by our choice. Bhakti is bestowed by the Sampradaya. If you have already got the stage of Radha Krishna Bhakti, which everyone has got in Gaudiya Vaisnavas Sampradaya, why the need for crossover? You have already got the highest. Have you ever heard of crossover bhakti? After attaining say I will do this. Are you mad? Only mad people can speak this stupid philosophy. Nonsense, complete nonsense, garbage. I know what stage of bhava is. I know that. Do you know practically what stage of bhava is? Are you on that stage? No, you don't know. Neither you are, nor you have any awareness of that stage. I know what bhava stage. I know people devoted in bhava. I know what their situation is. You will go mad just by seeing the person in a bhava stage. Mind, intelligence, ego, everything is completely enveloped in Radha Vasalya Bhav if you are in Pushti Marg. And if you are worshipper of Radha Krishna, I mean, it is completely enveloped. And without doing bhakti day and night in a particular bhav, how will you reach the stage of bhav? You tell me answer. Without doing bhakti in a particular bhav day and night, months on end, years on end, how will you attain stage of bhav? And what form of seed of devotion you have got from your guru? You are rejecting seed of devotion from your guru. When you get dīkṣā means you get your relationship with the Lord in a particular rasa is established. There is no need to cross over. You cannot cross over. You get Siddhi only in a Sampradaya. Sampradaya gives you a relationship. And only that relationship you do bhakti, it grows and you attain your. Then chanting reveals your svarūpa. You already got the relationship. Why there is any need to cross over? Believe in GURUDEVamedia path. GURUDEVamedia path says a particular relationship with the Lord, spiritual master, establishes at the time of dīkṣā. Sampradaya bestows the bhava, and Gurudev on the behalf of the entire Sampradaya gives you the same bhava the Sampradaya with the entire Sampradaya is following. So if you are already in Gaudiya Sampradayas, very plain and simple, we are worshippers of Radha and Kṛṣṇa. Why the hell this question comes? We need to cross over from the stage of bhava to attain the stage of bhava, then to Raganuga. All bhakti in Gaudiya Vaisnavas from day one is Raganuga Bhakti. Mahaprabhu has come here to give us that bhakti which was not given earlier. Earlier Krishna Sakya Bhakti was there, Dasya Bhakti was there, Vasalya Gopi Bhava. He has come to give us Radha Krishna Bhakti. Then why the question also arises that I don't know, I have to reach that stage, I have to reach that. You have got no understanding of Sampradaya, you have got no understanding of what is Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, you have got no understanding of what Mahaprabhu came to give. You don't know Bhava stage, you haven't seen anyone in Bhava stage, you don't know, there was never any crossover from Bhava stage in any Sampradaya, in any yuga. Why are you construing a completely imaginary philosophy and misleading so many innocent devotees in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya? Why are you speaking about something which you have got no awareness of? The leader who speak like this, they can't even sit in front of me. I'll ask simple question. Do you know what Bhava stage is? They'll ask you know Bhava? Yes. You know? No. Are you a Bhava stage? You are not. Do you know of any single person who has so-called attained your kalpanik, your imaginary stage of bhav and then he started Raganuga Bhakti? Do you know a single person? I am accepting your philosophy now. You tell us, we'll take shelter of all of you then. All of us will take your shelter. There is general stage of bhav. Come on. Without doing bhakti in bhav, you will attain stage of bhav. And you want to cross over. From stage of bhav, you want to cross over to Raganuga Bhakti. It means, you know what stage of bhav is? In the words of Shri Narottam Thakur, he says, Pakva apakva matra se vichar. Like mango. You see mango when it is unripe on a tree, it is green, dark green. Gradually greenness goes away, yellowness comes in. And then it becomes fully ripe. You want to understand when that mango has become 80-90% ripe, you will leave that mango will become orange someday. Are you in your senses? You will leave stage of bhav. Bhav means you become almost ripe mango. Almost ripe mango will become orange all of a sudden, or it will become a banana. Or it will become a pomegranate. All of a sudden. Because yours is an imaginary world. Have you ever done bhajan? You know what bhajan is. And you are speaking all this bhav stage and stuff. You come to me, I will make you realize what bhav stage is. You attain the stage of bhav. Which rasa you attain stage of bhav? Tell a simple answer. You say after attaining stage of bhav you will do rasa. Which stage of bhav you will attain? In which rasa you will attain? Stage of bhav can be attained only in a particular rasa. You tell us in which rasa you will attain stage of bhava, and then you will leave it and you will do some kind of kalpanik Raganuga Bhakti, imaginary. Why are you fooling yourself and so many innocent followers all around the world when you don't know anything about Raga Bhakti? You don't know anything about Bhava stage. You know what the coloring of mind, intelligence and ego in a particular Bhava actually means? Do you know this? Do you know this? Ask any of your leaders. Do you know this? What the meaning of coloring of mind, intelligence and ego in a particular Bhava actually is? Chitta covered in a particular Bhava. Do you know the meaning of this? Lifelong you trying to grow a mango. When it became almost ripe, you want to leave and you want to make that mango into an orange. This is what you're talking about. And you think that mango will become orange. See your foolishness. First of all, your desire is stupid, and then your imagination is far more stupid. Desire is mango should become orange. And you think it will become also orange one day. Wah! All glories to your foolishness, all glories to your ignorance. May no Gaudiya Vaishnava ever come in touch with even your shadow. May Lord save all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas even from your shadow. Shadow of your institution. If you are doing Krishna Bhakti, you are only are saying I am doing Krishna. Tell us in which rasa you are doing Krishna Bhakti. All Sampradāyas they do Krishna Bhakti in one rasa only. If you have got eyes, if you have got legs, then use them. Go and see every Sampradaya, they will do Krishna Bhakti in one rasa only. No Sampradaya supermarket of all rasas. We have all rasas. We don't have all rasas. We are Gaudiya Vaishnava. We have got one rasa, servitude of Radha and Krishna. No Sampradaya claims to be a supermarket of all rasas except Gaudiya, this ISKCON and Gaudiya Math. Unique creatures of this world. Sampradaya means you are bestowing one rasa. It is not a supermarket. It is not a mall of all. Sampradaya is not a mall. It is a specific shop. You go to ice cream parlor, Baskin Robbins. You get ice cream only Baskin Robbins. You not get nirvdas and A, B, and C ice cream in that. Sampradaya means a specific shop, not a mall, where you get everything. Sampradaya is not a mall. Sampradaya means samyak pradayate. One rasa is given in a totality to you. One rasa, not all rasas. If all rasas can be given in one sampradaya, then there is no need for all sampradayas. One sampradaya is sufficient. Get initiated in that sampradaya, get all rasas. No need to go anywhere. Super sampradayas come above 4 sampradayas. Super sampradaya. Supra sampradaya. Supra mundane. Supra sampradayas come which is giving all none of the bona fide 4 sampradayas give all rasas. They all sampradayas give one rasa. And all Mahaprabhus come here to bestow this Madhur Bhava, service of Rādhā. What is difficult to understand in this? Why you are making things complicated? Why you are ruining life of innocent Gaudiya Vaishnavas? In this imaginary philosophy, you are not qualified. Radha Vallavi are qualified for Radha Krishna Bhakti. Haridasi are qualified Radha Krishna Bhakti. Nimbargi are qualified Radha. Only we, this ISKCON Gaudiya Math people are not qualified. I mean, come on. Please stop robbing innocent devotees of what they can really get. Your ignorance is robbing innocent devotees. All your institutional leaders, without having knowledge, without Tattvaveta, you are not. Sei Krishna Tattvaveta, Sei Guru Hoy. You have not got knowledge of even ABCD of Gaudiya Vaishnavas. You don't know what Sampradaya, you don't know what Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, you don't know what Tilak, eternal Tilak is. And you are claiming to be Tattvaveta, savior of the whole world. Attaining the stage of bhava without doing bhakti in any bhava is just like trying to fill a bucket with water without putting in any form of water. Can you fill a bucket with water without putting in any water? Is it possible? Without doing bhakti in any bhava, you want to make your heart filled with bhava at bhava stage. I mean, come on. Why everything so stupid about your philosophy? And why I am speaking all this? I am speaking out of sheer compassion for all of you. I got nothing to, what can I gain from any of you? I mean, if I can gain anything from you, I mean, just think about. I'm just here to give you the real knowledge, which has always been lost. My Gurudev Sri Ananda's Babaji, I went to see him on my birthday once, and I was asking him for blessings to bless me. आज जन्मदिन आप आशीर्वाद देना, आज जन्मदिन बाबा आप आशीर्वाद देना. All of a sudden he said, the real knowledge in Gaudiya Vaisnava Sampradaya is getting lost. You have to save Gaudiya Vaisnava Sampradaya.
तो इसी प्रकार है भी खूब प्रयोजन है, यही शास्त्र का प्रचार करें. उस साईं पादों का जो वाणी है वो सब तो उन्होंने अपना किताबों से लिख गया. उस वाणी को प्रचार करना है, उसका लिखना है, व्याख्या करना है और साधनों से भक्तों से ऐसे सुना के उनको ये समस्त भक्ति को जाजन कराना है. अपना का अपने तो भजन करनी होगा, किंतु दूसरे को भी भजन मिलाने से और सिखाने से बड़ा भगवान का प्रसन्नता मिलेगा. उसकी महारानी भी प्रसन्न होंगे. तो इसलिए आचार और प्रचार ये दोनों से आदर्श बनने होगा. जैसे आदमी लोग सब देख सुन के, तुम्हारा वाणी सुन के सब भक्ति में प्रवर्तित हो सके.
All of a sudden, I went there on my birthday to seek his blessings, and he's giving me special service and special blessing. I asked him, give me blessings to save the entire Gaudiya Vaisnava. He said, you already have that.
बात भी है.
आशीर्वाद तो बाबा आप करेंगे, आप शक्तिपात बाबा, आप शक्तिपात करेंगे बाबा. आप तो आचार्य हैं, आप शक्तिपात करेंगे तो सब होगा बाबा. आपके
बात तो है ही.
So many Bhavajis are his renunciates are his disciples. He never told this to anybody to save Gaudiya. He told me to save Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. I'm just giving you all this knowledge just as for my service to my Gurudev. He has told me to save, I'm trying to save. I'm just a via media. I'm trying to do what my Guru told me to do. He told me to write books, I wrote books. He told me to speak in such a way and show by your acharan, show by your practical application what bhakti actually is. So I'm trying to do both. Very bhakti is very bhakti from day one to day last day. Rāgānugā Bhakti. Dāse bhakti of Kṛṣṇa. Dāse bhakti from day one to last day. Sakhe bhakti is day one from Sakhe to first to last day. Same is Gopi Bhava is same from first day to. You get seed of Gopi Bhava from a Guru. You get seed of Dāse Bhava from your Guru. You get seed of Vatsalya Bhava from a different Guru. They are all in different sanghas. You don't get seed, all these seeds in a same sampradaya. Sampradaya gives only one seed. You get connected to a sampradaya, there shouldn't be any question whether you are qualified or not. Lord chose you to be in a sampradaya, so you are qualified to do bhakti of that Ishtadev. It means you are qualified to hear and chant and remember the Ishtadev of the sampradaya. Our Ishtadeva Radha Krsna. So there is no, this question is wrong, you are not qualified. Lord Gauranga thinks I am qualified. And you institution, small leader, small time leader, you think I am not qualified? You think you are greater authority than Lord Gauranga? He put me in this Gaudiya Vaisnava Sampradaya, or you put me? He did that. He thinks I am qualified enough to hear and speak about him, hear and remember him. If he thinks I am qualified, why you think I am not? And a sampradaya, you don't choose bhava. You are bestowed with a bhava. Oh, when I will attain the stage of bhavana, then I will find some form of Rāgānugā Bhakti. I mean, are you roaming in your private park? You are taken shelter of a Sampradaya, you think you will choose a Bhava. Sampradaya bestows only one, but you think you will still choose a Bhava. Can I do Sakya Bhakti for Shri Krishna? I am a Gaudiya Vaishnava, chant Hare Krishna, I chant 16. Know what Sampradaya is, know what Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya is. Why are you living in an imaginary world where you can do everything and anything of your choice? Ishvaro aham bhogi, aham balvan, aham sukhi. Man, to give you more clarity on this, if you want to attain Krishna Dasya Bhakti, there are different Mangalarti for that and different way of offering bhoga. If you want to attain Krishna Dasya Bhakti, different Mangalarti is being done. Different way of offering bhoga is being done. Different Sandhyarti is being done. And if you want to attain Vatsalya Bhakti for Shri Krishna, totally different Mangalarti is being done. Totally different way of offering bhoga is being done. Totally different Sandhyarti is being done. And if you want to attain Gopi Bhava, like Neel Mangal, Thakur, etc., Chandidas, then totally different Mangalarti is being done. Pad are different, bhoga offering is different, Granthas are different, everything is different. That is why Sampradaya can bestow only one thing. In one rasa, everyone does bhakti. In Manjari Bhav, Mangalarti is different. Bhoga, see, we offer bhoga in 3 stages. First to Krishna, then Krishna Prasadi to Radharani, and Radharani Prasadi to Manjari, Rup Manjari, and our Guru Manjari Bhar. Common sense understanding is we are doing this bhoga offering because we are Manjaris and we offer it to Guru Manjaris. If one is Sakyaras, is there a need for them to offer food like this? To Krishna, to Radharani, to Manjari? There is no need. If you are in Vatsalas, is there a need to offer food in 3 steps? To Krishna, then to Radha, then to Manjari? There is no need. Offering food in these 3 steps, it is not required in Krishna's Dasaras, it is not required in Krishna's Sakyaras. And we do Mangalarti in a particular way. Krishna's Das or Vatsalya or Gopi, they need not do in that those Padagans. They are exclusively for Manjari Bhav devotees. All Sampradayas you go to, open your eyes, get your legs moving, go and see for yourself. You will see that all Sampradayas, they do a particular form of Mangalarti in a particular rasa every day of the week. You are doing a Mangalarti and there is no Padgan for each day. The uniquest Mangalarti on the planet. When there is no Padgan for each day. Generic Mangalarti. Then you want to say that gradually you attain the stage of Bhava doing generic Mangalarti, then you will do specific Mangalarti. Specific Sakha Mangalarti you will do eventually, not now because you are not qualified. And then if you are in Vatsalya Rasa, wish to attain in Vatsalya Bhav, then you do a special Vatsalya Bhav Yuk Mangalarti. Have you done anyone doing that in your Gaudiya ISKCON? Have you seen anyone doing specific Vatsalya Yuk Mangalarti? Then why are you fooling yourself and others? There is no general Mangalarti and there is no general Mangalarti of Krishna, first of all. Mangalarti of Krishna is done in a particular rasa and which is bestowed by a Sampradaya. Know the rasa, know the Sampradaya, do proper bhakti. Proper bhakti is very simple. Know your Ishdev, hear and chant about it and remember him. Is there any difficult thing I am talking about? Want to do in Vatsalya Rasa, then to hear and chant about him in Vatsalya Rasa and remember him. Try to serve him mentally in Vatsalya Rasa. If you want to serve him as a Das like Raktapadrak, hear and chant about how Das serve. Das in Vaikuntha thinks, oh Lord Narayana is God and I am his servant. But Raktapadrak, they never think like this. Oh my Prince Krishna, Rajkumar. Hey, Prince, beautiful Prince Krishna. I just want to serve him. I just want to make him happy. They don't think Krishna is God. So Das Bhakti is totally different. Mangalarti in Raktapatra Bhav is different. Sakya Bhav is different. Gopi Bhav, all. You want to say you are such a special supermarket of all Mangalartis, Bhoga mantras, dīkṣā mantras of all rasas. Do you know what you are even talking about? You are doing Sansar Dava as a general Mangalarti. Then you will attain the stage of Bhava in a bhavaless stage, you will attain a stage of bhava, then you will do mangala in a specific bhava. You want to say that? May have some sense. You have been brainwashed to such an extent that you have lost even common sense. Forget spiritual sense. Forget viveka. You don't even have common sense. You want to more understand bhakti in a very simple word. Jaki upasna, tahi ki vasna, tahi ke naam roop gun gaiye. What more is to understand? Jaki upasna, whomsoever you want to worship, Radha Krsna or Narayan or Narsingh, have desire to attain them, taki vasna. Hear about and chant about, remember them. That's it. And if you just clear that what sampradaya you are in, then there is no question for that also. Sampradaya gives one bhava, know the bhavas of sampradaya, and hear and chant about the Lord and remember the Lord. And just remove Bhaktivinoda Thakur and their family and followers from your life, and your life becomes simple, plain and simple. We Gaudiya Vaisnavas, we have two svarūpas, one as Gaudas, one as Dasya of Radha and Kṛṣṇa. Hear and chant about Radha Kṛṣna, remember, and about God. Hear and chant and remember God. This is Bhakti. Now, what is so difficult to understand? Are you talking something about trigonometry? Or some physics, chemistry, algorithms? No, simple things we are talking about. But you have been so wrongly brainwashed by these institutions that even the common sense, seed of common sense has been removed from your heart. Forget seed of bhakti. Seed of common sense is not remaining in your heart. You will attain some generic bhava stage, then you will do Raganuga Bhakti. Okay. Right? Tell me, assuming you have attained stage of that generic stage, tell me how you will do Sakhya Ras Bhakti. Tell me now. Tell me. We assume you have achieved stage of that bhava stage which you imagine there is some sort of bhava stage. Tell me how you use Sakhya Bhakti. Tell me which mangala you will do. Then you take shelter of another guru, because guru only gives seed of a rasa. Then you are taking such a high stage of bhava, you will accept another guru. All glories to your ignorance. May Lord save all souls from reaching even your shadow.
When it is clear that there is no generic bhav stage, one cannot attain the stage of bhav without doing bhakti in any bhav. And whether it is Vedi Bhakti or Rāgānugā Bhakti, from starting till end, it remains the same. Then one can understand that this question is filled with 100% ignorance, that one can start Rāgānugā Bhakti only after attaining the stage of bhava.
Maharaj Ji, one ISKCON devotee who is in ISKCON since last 40 years, when he came to know about your Granth Samaṣṭi Guru, he got surprised as he had never heard this term before. So he wants to know who is Samaṣṭi Guru, how svarūpa is given, and the role of Samaṣṭi Guru in this. Thank you, Maharaj Ji.
So the devotees want to know who is Samaṣṭi Guru, how svarūpa is given in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Okay. So, in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 15, Shlok 14, it is described, Vasanti yatra purushaha sarve vaikunta murtayaha ye nimitena dharmen aradhyam harim. It is said that in the spiritual world, the Lord is being served non-stop. The prema seva of the Lord is done by the bodies that are totally spiritual. Lord is being served in the spiritual world by the Parshadas who also have spiritual bodies. Commentary to this shloka in Priti Sandarbha, paragraph 10, Srila Jiva Goswami says, that Lord is being served in the spiritual world by two kind of parshadas. There are two kind of parshadas. What are the two parshadas? Number one, they are called Sakriya Parshada, and number two are called Nishkriya Parshada. Sakriya means who are actively serving Supreme Lord in the spiritual world, like Nanda, Yashoda, Madhumangal, Subal, Lalita Sakhi, Vishakha Sakhi, Rupa Manjari, Rakta Patra, etc. So many thousands of them, they are serving Lord in spiritual world. They are called Sakriya Parshada, active Parshada who are serving the Lord actively. And this thing you are hearing for the first time. There are two kind of Parshad. One is Nishkriya Parshad. What is Nishkriya Parshad? Nishkriya Parshad means those Parshadas who are like, you can say, dummies in the spiritual world. Like in a showroom, they are dummies. They don't move. But they are there just to beautify the place. So Jiva Goswami is telling in the commentary to this shloka that Vaikuṇṭhasya bhagavato jyotir ansha bhuta Vaikuṇṭha loka shobha rupa ya ananta murteyaha. He is telling in the spiritual world, from the effulgence coming from the Lord, there are so many forms of the parshadas of the Lord who don't actually move. They are, what is he saying? Shobha rupa. They are beautifying the place. And what is the next word he is saying? Jiva Goswami, ananta murteyaha. These Nishkriya Parshads who don't actually move, who don't actually practically serve the Lord, they are also infinite in number. Parshadas of all rasas are there in the spiritual world. Nishkriya Parshads, like Sakha, form of the Lord, Parshad form of the Lord who don't move, Gopi form of the Lord who don't move, Manjari form of the Lord who don't move. Similarly, servants of the Lord, they are all beautifying the spiritual world. And when one gets prema, his body merges with that Parshad form of the Lord and he serves the Lord eternally in the spiritual world then. The form is already there. When he reaches prema, he will get that form. So there are two forms of the Lord, Nishkriya Parshad and Sakriya Parshada. So we have explained to you what are the two kind of Parshadas. Now we come to the second part of the question. Second part is, who is Samaṣṭi Guru? Samaṣṭi Guru Bhagavat Avatara. Srila Jiva Goswami writes, he is also the form of the Lord in the spiritual world Goloka. Like Krishna's form, there is Balaram. He is also a form of the Lord. Similarly, another form of the Lord is there in Golok, which is called Samaṣṭi Guru. He is an aggregate of all Gurus. And Vama Pardeshe, Srila Jiva Goswami writes, on the left side of the Lord, form of Lord, on the left side of Sri Krishna stays Samaṣṭi Guru. And Samaṣṭi Guru is also same in complexion as Sri Krishna. Samaṣṭi Guru also wears Pitambara. He stays on the left side of the spiritual of Sri Krishna, and he oversees all the functions of the Gurus in the bona fide Sampradaya. Had it not been for Jiva Goswami, we would have never known these intimate things happening in spiritual world. And how anyone on the earth would have known if Jiva Goswami wouldn't have written in his books that how svarūpa is given. He is telling very clearly there are Nishkriya Parshads and then there is Samaṣṭi Guru. And now you understand the third part of the question, how svarūpa is given in Gaudiya Vaisnava Sampradaya. The spiritual master has a special connection with Samaṣṭi Guru. Spiritual master or Guru is called Vyashti Guru. Vyashti Guru means individual Guru of the disciple. And Samaṣṭi Guru is there in the spiritual world. The spiritual master here has connection with the Samaṣṭi Guru of the spiritual world. And you understand the process how svarūpa is given. Like my Gurudev Srila Anarthas Babaji Maharaj. When he gave me svarūpa, how did he give me svarūpa? He had a connection with the spiritual, in the spiritual world, the Samaṣṭi Guru. The Samaṣṭi Guru tells amongst all so many thousands of lakhs of forms of the Manjaris or Dasis of Radha and Krishna, Samaṣṭi Guru tells in the heart of the spiritual master, this is the form of, this is the eternal form of your disciple by which he is going to serve Radha and Krishna. So all the name, the qualities, the clothes which the Nishkriya Murti is wearing, everything, all the details are revealed in the heart of the individual Guru by the Samaṣṭi Guru. So actually if you see, entire thing is happening by the will of the Lord, by Lord Shri Krishna only. Lord Shri Krishna only expands himself as Samaṣṭi Guru. Lord Krishna in the form of Samaṣṭi Guru tells all the details of the disciples' eternal form by which he is going to serve Radha Krishna in the heart of the dīkṣā Guru. And whatever is revealed in the heart of dīkṣā Guru just tells all his details and gives to the disciple, by which the disciple meditates on the forms and pastimes of the Lord and his service in those pastimes, and thereby attains perfection. Srila Gaudiya Babaji also got his Siddha Praṇālī from his Guru this way. Srila Jagannath Babaji Maharaj also got the Siddha Praṇālī from his Guru the same way. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also got his Siddha Praṇālī from his Guru Vipin Bihari Goswami same way. And you will be surprised to know Bhaktivinoda Thakur also gave Siddha Praṇālī to his own son Lalita Prasad Thakur. The Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur company has criticized Siddha Praṇālī so much, ISKCON, that as if it is something demoniac. But shockingly, please understand, if you are putting the picture of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gaudiya Babaji and Jagannath Das Babaji, they all got Siddha Praṇālī from their fathers, their gurus, all of them. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur being the father of Lalita Prasad Thakur, brother of Lalita Prasad Thakur, brother of Bhakti Siddhanta. Bhakti Siddhanta's brother got Praṇālī from his father. If Siddha Praṇālī concept is wrong, then why are you putting the pictures of all these Babajis on your altar? They got it from their gurus and they gave it to your disciples, and their disciples are giving it to their disciples even in this age. There is no point criticizing something, criticizing those acharyas. There is no point putting the picture of the acharyas in the altar and not following anything which they are telling you to follow. Please try to understand scriptures from the point of view of Ṣaḍ Gosvāmīs. They are telling who is Samaṣṭi Guru. They are telling there are two Parshad forms of the Lord in the spiritual world. One is Nishkriya Parshad, one is Sakriya Parshad. What is Samaṣṭi Guru? They are Jiva Goswami is telling how svarūpa is given. Everything is being told. Why don't we just understand everything from the point of view of Ṣaḍ Gosvāmīs, of a real acharya, and tell this and give this knowledge to the entire human population? Why don't we follow and why don't we give the real thing? Why are we just so fanatically attached to institution acharyas or institutions? Why are we not fanatically attached to Ṣaḍ Gosvāmīs? They are telling very clearly, elaborating on every small aspect which is there in Gaudiya Vaisnava Sampradaya. Who are Rūpānuga, not any this institution Acharyanuga. Be a Gaudiya Vaishnava. Be a real Gaudiya Vaishnava. Be a real genuine follower of Ṣaḍ Gosvāmīs. Be a genuine follower of Bhakti Gaudiya Babaji, Jagannath Babaji. They never deviated. Then why are you deviating? That Samaṣṭi Guru is a reality. And all forms of the Parshadas who are in non-moving state, inactive state, that is Nishkriya Parshada, they are also reality. Samaṣṭi Guru is reality. Nishkriya Parshada reality. Lord telling you your eternal form via your Guru, by which you serve Radha and Krishna eternally, that is also reality. When we meditate on the reality, this reality given by your Guru, the Siddha Swarup given by your Guru, when you meditate upon them, like the way Jagannath Babaji did. Jagannath Babaji meditated upon the Manjari Swarup bestowed upon him by his Guru. Similarly, Gaudiya Babaji also meditated on the Manjari form, the Dasi form of Radha and Krishna given by his Guru. Similarly, Bhaktivinoda Thakur also meditated upon himself as the Dasi form of the Lord, as a Dasi form of, as a Dasi of the divine couple as given by his Guru. Similarly, the devotees who follow the same process, who meditate upon the form given by the Guru given Manjari Deha, when they serve Radha and Krishna by their Guru given Siddha Deha, they also attain perfection same way. Gaudiya Babaji attained same way, Bhaktivinoda Thakur attained and same way, Jagannath Babaji attained and same way. All Gaudiya Vaishnavas have attained perfection. Perfection here means service prema seva to Radha and Krishna. This is the only process, the only way. Samaṣṭi is reality, our Gurudeva Manjari form is a reality. When we meditate, serving them by this Manjari form given by our Guru, we attain perfection. This is a simple. This is the essence of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, which all Gaudiya Vaishnavas have followed from the last 500 years. And this new imaginary concept has also creeped in Gaudiya Vaishnava that the Guru changes the form of the disciple again and again. But this is absolutely rubbish. Why this is so? No matter who says. See, one may attain perfection later and one may have written something well in advance. This may also happen. And some people think that the Guru changes the form of the Manjari day of the disciple. How is this possible, you tell me? Samaṣṭi Guru only gives the entire details about the nature, about the cloth which the Manjari wears, about how you look like, what you serve, everything in detail, 100% details is revealed to the spiritual master by the Samaṣṭi Guru. When it is already revealed by the Lord, do you think Lord needs any change to attain perfection? Lord has already given you exact details. Why at all there can be any need to change anything? Ask yourself. Know how svarūpa is being given. One can say this thing only when one doesn't know how svarūpa is being given. My Gurudeva Ananthas Bhavaji, he gave svarūpa to hundreds and thousands of devotees. I myself wrote Praṇālī of so many devotees. Bhavaji Maharaj never changed svarūpa of any devotee. And I have had fortune of having darshan of Praṇālī of so many parivars. No Guru ever changes. Anything about the Siddha once been given, there is no point, there is no need to change. I mean, you have already seen what the Manjari Day of your disciple looks like, you are telling the exact details. Why there is any need to change? This is also imaginary concept which has creeped in, even among bona fide lineages. This is what we have to get rid of as well. Hare Krishna.
In Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, from the very beginning, Siddha Praṇālī is being given. By accepting it, meditating on it, many devotees attain Siddhi, perfection. And even today in bona fide Gaudiya Vaishnava lineage, Siddha Praṇālī is being bestowed by bona fide Guru. Meditating on it, devotees are attaining Siddhi, perfection. This is the only way by which perfection, Siddhi, is attained in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya.